drowned souls in shipwreck. Welcome, drowned souls. Welcome, drowned souls and shipwrecked mariners, to the locker. The lost meander here. The chains that bound them to the corporeal world rust and crumble as they sink deeper and deeper into the void. Perhaps there is a chance for you. Perhaps you will escape the endless waters of purgatory and return to the realm of the living. Perhaps you might reclaim the feeble carnal existence you once loathed. Or perhaps, more likely, you are now one of the many, down among the dead. Pirate Borg, down among the dead. Welcome, drowned souls and shipwrecked mariners.
It's like, look, it's not my fault. The interface is not very good. It's like designed for like, prosumer, whatever. Okay, anyway. Welcome to the apparently bi-weekly Ship of the Dead stream. I'm your host, Luke Stratton, also known as the Pirate Wizard Limithron. Today I've got quite the crew. I'm going to have Zach and Tyler on. We're going to be talking about the Unlocked Soul PC class, which we unlocked as a stretch goal for a Pirate Borg. Can everybody hear me? How about that? How are we doing on the hearing? Thumbs up? Anybody? I'll wait to know. Hello, hello. Echo into the void. Any comments? Hopefully no audio issues. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. I think we'll be good. All right, well, let's get the boys in here, huh? Let's get the boys. Although apparently I don't know how to do that. Dude, I'm telling you, there are goblins. Oh, you're not on the stage. There we go.
Ahoy,
one of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do this stupid thing called YouTube. Welcome, boys.
Hello.
Pippin's joining us today, too.
I got my Yogi's right down here, although he's been throwing up today, so I'll give him some love after this. How's it going, guys?
Good stuff, man. We're Pirate Borging away real hard. Look at all rocking pirate shirts.
Do I look so much better than those guys on your guys' screens as well? Because I feel like I feel like this is like
shots fired.
I feel like this is like how it's going, like how it started. Like Tyler's like how it was, and Zach is like because he's all grainy.
All grainy?
Yeah. Your camera is vastly better than ours.
Oh, well, who cares?
Yeah.
All right. What else? We got any news? You guys got any news to share?
News?
I guess not.
I mean,
no.
I think like I'll focus on GameholeCon next week and
GameholeCon. Professor Dungeon Master, the saint that he is, not only has he agreed to come on Ship of the Dead podcast, but he, at no charge, ran our commercial again today in the, when do you guys go find that? The Tall Tale Heart video that he just released. I thought that was so awesome of him. He is really a supporter of indie games and an all-around nice guy. So, Professor DM, thank you so much for the shout out. I think he's really by far our highest contributor to the campaign when we look at our referral links. So if there's anybody in the chat who has not backed Down Among the Dead, it's totally okay. Go check out the Kickstarter. You've got like a week left, 8 days maybe. So let's talk about this thing, right?
Yeah, what are we doing today, Luke?
We're working on the Unlocked Soul. Let me get my sharing going here. Share screen. Window, entire screen. Yeah, screen one. Let's do it. This is the Unlock Soul. What's the best view? I think I like this one actually. This is just placeholder art that uses the art I've drawn for those Lost Soul monsters. But I think my idea here is to do a very like hunched over dude with like manacles and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and he won't look so ghostly, but he will look very like unkempt and like he was formerly drowned, you know.
A little bit like The Drowned from the core book.
Yeah, not quite so zombie-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like I go to prep for these streams, and today when I was prepping this one, I pretty much ended up just writing it. So I think we would just, I thought maybe instead of me sitting here trying to come up with ideas, we could just go over it, talk about the power balances, maybe lay it out a little bit. And then the second hour, I have a suggestion idea for, I want to run by the community and the team to see what they think, see if they should stop me in my tracks before I do a classic Luke thing and bite off more than I could chew. But we'll see. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna switch right over here to the Unlock Soul. Actually, you know what? Here, I'm gonna drip these in. I'm gonna do a nice drip into the InDesign file. So my first thought is Unlock Soul. I want this to be different, right? I want it to be like the concept for this is that you have died and you went to Davy Jones's locker. Possibly you played Lost to the Locker and have escaped, or maybe you just want to play a more like kind of spooky background that's not one of the Haunted Soul backgrounds. Although I'm now realizing that they're both called Soul. Haunted Soul, Unlock Soul. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see
That's
if
okay.
we'll see if I mean, Unlocked Soul is the right name for this, but
Yeah.
we'll see. So my first thought is this. My first thought is, I'm gonna get the number turned off here. Because I don't want a number list. All your stats are -1. And my thought here is like, you have, you know, when you're doing the normal pick a class, roll up a class thing, it's very kind of D&D in that you're like, you roll your stats and then you can pick a class that modifies your stats to get as high bonus as possible. Like, oh, I rolled an 18 for my strength. I'm going to pick the brute and be like, you know, super mega uber brute, you know? I thought this would be fun to be different. Like, what if the abilities were like more powerful, but everything else about it was crappy?
And in a level up or two, that this isn't going to matter anyways.
Yes. I mean, yeah, hypothetically, your first level up. Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe they should be -2. Maybe we should really punish them.
That's a lot.
See. What's up, Tyler?
-2 is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea. Like, I think the idea is like you've come back to life, you know. But okay, let's see how the rest of it unfolds, and then you guys can tell me what you think. And chat, of course, if you have opinions, we want to hear them. Can I get it with the? There we go. Your starting weapon. You don't roll on the table. You have manacles and chains, which is a D6 attack, and a 10-foot reach. Because if you've found your way back from the locker, you've got to have manacles and chains, right? Even if they're ghostly manacles and chains that are just like, you know, there as a spirit of sorts. I think the clothing is obvious. Rags. This thing does not want to paste right. Rags, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, hat. I don't think you start with a hat, or maybe we can let them roll for is it a D10 to get a hat that's not? I don't know why it keeps coming in at black.
I'm looking.
Yeah, it's a D10. That's a hat that's not armor.
Yeah, I think we'll say starting hat D10. Here's where I'm getting real saucy here. Saucy boy. D4 for HP. Man, you are weak. Guaranteed weak.
Whoa.
Now, I thought a lot about Devil's Luck, and I think that based on the other things that's going on with this class, we're just going to call it a normal D2. There is an argument to be made for like, oh, this person was lucky enough that they came back from the dead, so they're lucky, but are they that lucky? Maybe it's not luck at all. Maybe coming back from the dead is not a good thing.
It could be a D3.
Just hold on. My dog he is definitely not feeling good. but it's not emergency status. But he's definitely got a tummy bug, so I got to keep an eye on him. Okay. What'd you say about D3?
He could have D3 Devil's Luck.
I think that's confusing because you want people to be able to play this at the gate, right? Like D3 makes sense to you and me, but we want it to be as user friendly as possible. There's no D3 die by default. Our dice sets don't have D3, so we're gonna leave it at D2. Next up, I'm thinking that across the board, this class is immune to the effects related to fear or terror. Now, that probably doesn't have a huge effect mechanically, because there's not a ton of fear-based effects built into Pirate Borg mechanically, though I think there are enough where this could make a difference. Especially there's like if you run into ghost ships and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then here's the big one. And I know that Tyler, I was pitching an idea like this to you a while ago and you did not like it. But I really am gonna go with this one here. I don't know why this thing hates me today. Borrowed time. Here, let me. I'm a little worried about my dog, but there's not a whole lot I can do for him. Sorry, guys.
All good.
Yeah. Can someone take over for a minute? He's throwing up right now. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Let's see.
Side note.
Yes.
I've been reading the 2024 D&D Player's Handbook, and Zach knows this.
Yes.
And I've just been breaking down like the different classes and what's new. I really like it. I think it's a huge step in the right direction, and it right away gets me like thinking about making the Pirate Borg classes that way, and I've just spent a lot of mental capacity on the couch. Like reading and like, I'm gonna jot that note down. Like it's it's living in my brain rent free right now.
Is there something that like you jotted down or you thought of in this last read through that got you really excited, or that's been kind of eating an earworm or a brainworm?
Yeah, I think some fun things about it is like when you strip out some of the things that you don't want in D&D that are super magic-y, there's space to put in stuff that's like sale related. Tyler, what is your hottest new D&D take? I think putting psionics in the D&D 24 book is a good call. I think that that's nice. I think masteries is actually a good thing, but the game is more complicated overall. So I don't know, hot takes. I think it's good.
They
did a good job. I'm not mad at them. Everybody's mad at Wizards, but
yeah, I think you and I said full letter grade improvement.
Full letter grade improvement.
Oh wow, nice. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I really like it. I watched a nice review yesterday where the guy started with, "Here are the problems with Wizards that I'm not going to talk about. This is just a review on the book," and he only used like emojis to respond to how much he liked different sections, which was actually really fun.
Nice. I mean, I feel like you have to like remember. I was saying this on the Roll for Combat show yesterday, that D&D the game and D&D the company are very different. Like Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro. Like I don't think you should be judging anything in the game based on the way the corporation operates, in my opinion, unless you just really want to stick it to the corporate. Like they're not even people. It's just an amorphous like corporation. Like if you stick it to the people who work there now, they'll get fired and then they'll replace them with new people who do the same things because it's a shareholder driven thing. Yeah. That's how corporations work. So just try to remember, I mean, Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins are still there. Like it's still in good hands, Yeah. So that being said, fuck D&D, come play Pirate Borg.
Yeah. I haven't wanted to play 5e basically since the first time I rolled a dice playing Pirate Borg. Yeah. So this is the first time in over 2 years that I'm like, I think I want to play 5e. Or like, this is sparking my interest.
Zach, is there any way you can up your resolution?
Resolution? Yeah.
Your beard looks
you're
like
it's super grainy. It's unusual.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah.
It's called moraying. What's happening on his beard right now? A little film term right here. When there's like too many, like someone wears a plaid shirt, or you stand next to a screen door.
Okay. Anyway,
moving on.
Okay, so here's my idea for this. Borrowed time. No one can use Devil's Luck to re-roll any of your dice rolls that result in a natural 1. Every time you roll a natural 1 on a d20, roll a d100. On a 1, Charon reclaims your soul, takes you to the netherworld, and your story ends. Increase this number by 1 each time this roll is made. Now, before I say anything, chat. Zach, Tyler, is that clear?
Every time you roll a 1, it can't be re-rolled. And then you roll another 1 or another d20. If you get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 every time it goes up a number, you're gone. You're banished. You're dead.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense, 100%.
Yeah.
But do you understand that the way you just explained it was every time you roll a 1, then you roll a d20, and that's
Yes.
not at all. That's not it at all.
Then I did not
You
understand.
roll a
it correctly.
D100, right?
You roll a d100, and you
Oh.
only do that when you roll a 1 on a d20.
Oh, sorry. I just missed that you said D100. It says it right there. It's just really tiny on my screen because I got.
Yeah, I
things
just want to
open.
make sure this makes sense from a
Yes,
game
it makes sense.
mechanic.
I thought it was a D20.
The idea
sorry.
here is that, like, if you rolled a 1 on a table or on a damage roll, no one can help you. If you roll a 1 on a d20, you have to roll a d100. If you roll a 1 on the d100, you're dead, and if you don't, you increase that number. Make sense?
It was. I think it's not clear that if you roll a natural 1 on any dice, it cannot be re-rolled.
Okay, it help me to be more clear than any one of your dice rolls. Or any of your dice rolls. I feel like the comment "it's clear but sounds convoluted" is inherently they're diametrically opposed. It can't be both.
I guess it's right, but after reading it the first time, I just assumed it meant a D20, even though it doesn't say that. That's what I assumed.
Okay, so maybe it should just be that, because like, who really cares if they can't re-roll damage dice, right?
Well, and they can just maximize damage, right? Which isn't a reroll, technically.
Yeah. So
Okay. So no one can use Devil's Luck to re-roll any of your D20 rolls.
yeah, what's confusing is a natural 1 is irrelevant on any dice except a D20. That's what.
No, I don't agree with that.
I've never had a player been like, I rolled a nat 1 and that matters on their damage.
Well, I mean, if you were
versus-
playing like D&D and you had a modifier, you'd be like, oh, I rolled a nat 1, so 4 damage.
Okay.
Sure, that's literally never happened at my table, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that works. Yeah.
Every time you roll a natural 1 on a D20. Okay, let's see here.
Roll D100 on a 1, chart, reclaim your soul, taking you to the netherworld. Your story ends. Increase this number by 1. each time
But
this
it's clear that this 1 is talking about this
Yes.
one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is that's clear.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the overall class idea. Makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, do I need to say that? Do I need to say that you can't use Devil's Luck on this D100 roll?
I think that's one of those things that it feels like you're getting like I feel like 100% you shouldn't use Devil's Luck on that, but I feel like it gets a little bit wordy to say that again. Like that's already a big paragraph.
I feel the same.
Yeah, but it's like if people can use their Devil's Luck and it doesn't say they can't, they're gonna
Fair
think
enough.
they can
Yeah, fair enough.
when you fumble a roll. Huh.
Maybe swap. Yeah.
I hate how this covers you guys' faces. Maybe we can go to this view. Where's this one? I think it just covers Zach still. No, okay. Huh. Okay. Well, let's move on. We get the idea. We can worry about the rules, lawyering. Let's be creative right now instead of
Yeah.
worrying about the rules things. I just want to make sure it makes sense. Okay, so here's my ideas for your abilities. Okay. Number 1. I know Tyler likes this one. Visions of Doom. Every day at dawn, roll a d20. You may swap out that d20 result for any other d20 result at the table. Hold on. And save the result. You may swap out that d20 result with any other d20 result at the table. If taken again, roll an extra d20.
Does that include the GM's roles?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I think let's look at the text as game designers.
I would read it as you can swap out any d20 roll that is rolled by anyone at the table. So not just the GM, but if Tyler, you roll something, I can
also, like,
swap out your result.
How many d20s are you rolling at the table?
I mean, pretty much just naval combat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just naval combat. My intent is absolutely yes, but like, do I have to say that? I don't think I have to say that.
No. If your intent is yes, then it's good as is.
Okay. Every day at dawn, roll a d20 and save the result. You may swap out that d20. Should I say, you may swap out that result with any other d20 result at the table. Yeah,
It's a
at
great
the
question.
table. That's very clear.
What about borrowed time? Can you swap out your own borrowed time with it?
That's a good question.
That is a question. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should it be? Yeah, it's like the potent feat from 5e, kind of.
Yeah.
Time portent. Not potent, it's portent, I think.
Portent. It's my favorite ability.
You could, if you wanted to make it not, you could get rid of, like at the top with borrowed time, you could get rid of the section that says no one can use Devil's Luck. We don't have to be specific to Devil's Luck. We can just say no one can cause you to re-roll any of your d20s.
But Scott's got a good point here. Oops, sorry, Scott. You're technically swapping and not re-rolling.
Not re-rolling. Yeah.
My intent, I think, is that the clock is ticking. You better not roll 2 1s. If you roll 2 1s, you're gone. No, swapping out with the Visions of Doom. Although I guess that could be if you want to spend that roll because Charon's coming.
What if you get, as a suggestion, if you get rid of that first sentence on borrowed time, and then at the very end you say neither of these rolls can be changed or adjusted or something like that. Just put a disclaimer at the end that's like we're locked. Both the D100 and the D20 cannot be changed in any way, or
Okay, how about this? We say this: your D20 rolls cannot be altered.
Well,
D20 rolls that result in an
that just got a lot worse for
your
that
D20
player.
rolls.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that means you can't re-roll. You can't use Devil's Luck to re-roll anything, or I guess you could change the modifier.
Wait,
the
your
DR.
D20. How about your D21 results? Your D20 results of a natural 1 cannot be altered. There, we happy?
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your
That
D20
does it.
results of a natural 1 cannot be altered. Every time you roll a natural 1 on a D20, roll. Do I need roll D100?
Yeah. That's
Or should I say a
the
D100?
board way of saying this did not say an A. Yeah, just do D100. Yeah.
But your D on A, I think this is A20. Okay, yeah. On a 1, okay. And then here, Visions of Doom, every day at dawn, roll a D20 and save the result. You may swap out that result with any other D20 result at the table. If taken again, roll an extra D20. Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is like if you got this 3 times, you can roll 3d20s every morning and be swapping those numbers all day long.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Good. We're getting there. Okay, let me switch to the page. Okay, so here's that's my idea for number 1. Number 2. Oh man, I gotta get out of this. Don't write in InDesign, people. Don't learn the mistakes that I have learned in my life and get used to them. Netherworld reject. Every time you would be reduced to lower than 0 hit points, you are instead reduced to 0 hit points. Roll on the broken table each time this happened. If taken again, roll an extra d6 on the broken table and take the highest result. Discuss.
Whoa. So
I really
now
like it. Yeah.
you can only die if you have that ability. You can only die in a 1 in 6 chance if you fail the 50-50 toughness roll. It's not 50-50, but and if you take it again, now you're
Wait. What? What are you talking about toughness roll?
Isn't there in the broken table? Where's the
No, there's no modifier.
Oh, 1 instant death. Sorry, I'm thinking about something else. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
Cats and
So,
Kid
yeah.
has a good question. What is the difference between the Netherworld and the Locker? So I made a decision, a creative decision in the process of writing the Dark Caribbean to call the place where you go where you're no longer alive the Netherworld. And in my mind, in Pirate Borg, Dark Caribbean, what do they call that? Not Cosmos. Is that the right word?
Sure. I know what you're saying.
Cosmology, yeah. Netherworld contains both heaven and hell. I'm not getting into those. They're the same place, or they're 2 places in the same plane, if you will. The Locker is purgatory. The Locker is a place that there's an adventure written for that you can go to, that you can escape. There are spells about the Locker. Charn is the guy that gets you there, Sharon, if you will. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they are basically, it's purgatory versus hell, or purgatory versus the afterlife, or heaven as well. Why not? But basically, from a game design perspective, my idea is once you're in the Netherworld, your characters rip the character sheet up. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
Unless you talk to your good buddy Albric, the Tideborn, and you get him to complete that ritual that he's working to spend on his wife. If you guys were on the stream the other day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I think
because in my mind, there's never going to be a pure resurrection spell in Pirate Borg other than like that one that Albric is doing,
Well, there's
He's dead,
already one
sure.
for somebody who is recently dead.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like dead. Like, you know.
Dead.
What's the thing from Princess Bride? He's mostly dead.
It's mostly
There's a big
dead.
difference between dead, all the way dead, and mostly dead.
What? So a couple questions here. I think it's great. I think I've seen similar things in other Borg projects. And I really like them. My question would be: so if you are at 0 hit points and broken,
Yes.
can you then get hit again and die?
Okay, you're asking Luke, the designer, or are you referencing us as a panel to read the rule?
I'm asking Luke as the designer. Would in your mind would that work?
My design intent would 100% be no, you roll on the table again. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm curious why you're even asking because
Because-
if that happened, that would defeat the whole point of this table.
Nope, it reads exactly like that. I just wanted to see if you as the designer and what you wrote aligned.
Yes, I mean, I guess if I meant what you said, then it would be basically it would just save you from a killing blow to start, and then you would get killed. But I'm saying no. Anytime you would be reduced to 0, Look, I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering, so I'm really like reading these rules like a rules lawyer now, and I've gotten screwed by some players at my table recently from Necrosleep specifically. So I'm very much
You're coming around to my line of thinking, Luke. Excellent.
Well, I just don't want it to ruin my experience as a GM. I want them to be powerful and creative and all that.
Is there any exceptions to that would make sense that you would want?
Well, exceptions kind of sounds like not Morkborg talk to me.
Yeah, 100%,
But what-
unless it's a major exception, right? Like,
I think my idea is that, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, when you think like a big
Cool.
boss is like pounding away at them, I think the idea is they just keep phasing in and out, and like they're like, no, I've already been dead, you know?
yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess you
think
could also say we could also add a like every time this happens, you also roll for
borrowed
Charon
time.
for borrowed time.
Too complicated.
I agree that makes it more complicated. I think that would be a good house rule though.
Yeah.
You know, like every time you get reduced to 0, you check for borrowed time.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I like it.
Yes, you'd
Super
still
strong.
die if you rolled a 1 on the broken table. JP.
Yeah. They definitely still die. Shout out to JP Couvert, who's got a Kickstarter going right now. Coming up on 100K, right? With that Shadow Dark stretch goal.
Sneaking up on it, yeah.
Here, let's give it a shout out because he's been on every freaking stream. Yeah, JP, send us the link in chat and I'll go to it on the stream. Okay, cool. Are we happy with this? I think this is pretty good, right?
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, what's the other abilities?
Okay, they're coming, baby. They're coming. Here we go. Wraith Walk. Oh my, this is really driving me nuts with the InDesign.
Yar, you're driving me nuts.
Yeah, that's a good joke. 3, Wraith Walk. Once an hour, you can teleport to a distance within 30 feet. If taken again, you can teleport to an additional time each hour. There's no sense in hiding it. It's Misty Step.
Yeah, I think that was my only note. As soon as I read it, I'm like, I understand this completely, and there's no wiggle room in this one. So,
The only question I have is that there aren't a lot of times that teleporting, like, you can just run 30 feet wherever you want most times. Although I guess you can teleport out of someone or into someone's or out of someone's arms or vertically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not as powerful as in a game that has. Wait, is there? Are you not sharing the link, or is the link not just showing up in chat?
he may not be able to share a link on the YouTube
Okay,
chat.
I'm just gonna go find it. Because I asked last time and I didn't see a link come then either, so maybe it's. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hard time immediately because why can't I click on this? Let me click on this.
I've got a link right here for you.
Send it to me.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see if I can post it in chat.
JP,
Hey,
I
let
definitely
me post. There you go.
JP, I definitely want to give you 100% colleague who is most likely to be sued. I feel like half of the things that I've seen from you are things that like I wish I had made that I didn't because I'm afraid that I'll get sued. Teenage Mutant Tunnel Goons, amazing. Goons and Ghosts, amazing. Lawsuit inbound. Okay, where's the links?
Posted it into chat and also into Discord. Maybe I need to post it into this chat. How about that?
Copy link. Here we go. Dragon Town and the Darkness Below. Let's go. And I know that my buddy Michael's doing a Shadow Dark conversion if you guys hit 100K, right? That's the vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, dude, see, I didn't think you were gonna sell these. You got balls, man. I think you're come after Disney double fold. I love it. You got my support.
I have one of
Starborg.
those. He
Yeah.
gave me one of those at Gen Con.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I love it. Okay, cool. Let's keep going here.
I support it. I would say,
How about maybe this should be, let's make it 40 feet, or should it be 50 feet?
do you hate the word nearby? instead of using feet?
I kind of do, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Because A, I'm a battle map maker, and B,
Yeah,
let's quantify it.
yeah,
You know?
fair. Yep.
But is this going to break anything if we make it 50 feet? Is that going to be too powerful?
No, I think that's better. I was going to suggest that.
Because then it's like, hey, you actually can move farther.
Yeah.
Like once a combat, once an hour.
Yeah, and once an hour is like basically every short rest without taking a short rest. That's cool. I like it
Do
very
you
much.
care if this is a movement thing or an ability, so an action thing? Like,
Oh, yeah,
do you
does it
care
take your
how
action?
it interacts with player? Yeah, action economy.
I don't think I do care.
Okay, great. I think it's
But
fine.
I mean, like,
As a GM, I would rule that this is your movement, not your action, so you could
That's what I would
teleport
say
and
too,
go
yeah.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if somebody
Yeah.
wanted to run and then teleport, that's also fine. Go nuts.
I mean,
Knock yourself out.
I the fix is this does not take your action, but then does that? I'm just gonna leave it as is.
Yeah,
dude.
it's fine. It's cool.
It's like I know we're all from systems with tons of rules, but you know,
Yeah.
You were just saying you didn't want your players abusing stuff, so we're just being clear.
I know, but you know what? I can change my mind. I can do both. Okay. I want it to be rules light and clear. That I'm allowed to want that.
For sure.
None. I hate you, InDesign. It's like the problem is it's not actually a style. So when I apply my none style, it's actually
Yeah.
an override. So I need to clear the override. It's like take a long walk off a short plank, InDesign. Oh, also, we all know how bad I am at talking and doing anything else. So, okay, Curse from the Shallows. Once an hour, your body resembles transparent water for D2 rounds. You may make your body resemble transparent water for D2 rounds. If taken again, increase the die size. Thoughts?
Okay, how I read that is you aren't water, you just look like water, like one of those like halfway like chameleon like
Like from the abyss.
yeah, to where you are still fully solid. It's just that you look like transparent water.
What? Why? What would you do with this?
Is it a
It's
stealthy
invisibility.
thing? Yeah.
But pirate themed invisibility.
Transparent water. But you can see that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Also, imagine
in a,
what
like-
it looks like in the water. Yeah, like
Yeah.
JP
If
said.
you're like walking by on a
Predator.
trail,
Yeah, Predator.
Yeah.
That Jason gets it. Yeah.
Should it be D4 rounds?
Should it be 2D2 rounds?
2D2?
No, should it be why should it be D4 rounds?
I think as a stealth ability, it's like which 100% it is. I think D4 is more reasonable because you're probably sneaking around, not in the middle of combat.
That's what I had it as at first, and I was like, someone's gonna use this to like one shot my villain in the back of the head. I just know it. But I
That's
guess
pretty-
Well, it's the fact that it's not full invisibility, like you still have to sneak. Like if I'm sitting in the captain's cabin and the door opens and a water elemental walks in, I'm going to like freak out, you know? So it's
Yeah.
not perfect invisibility. It's like partial invisibility.
I feel
So
like
I think
we
that
need,
warrants, 1 to 4 rounds rather than 1 to 2.
okay.
I would note, I think based off of the rapscallion, it would be nice if we put at the end something like DR16 to spot you or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of, yeah. Yeah, like
What's the
because-
Rapscallion say?
DR16 to spot you.
That's exactly what it says.
Exactly what it says. Yeah. I think that also helps, like, for somebody who doesn't immediately get that it's a stealth thing, invisibility thing. It's like, helps you get on that wavelength immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I do not think we should do that when you're hit, it ends.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's
I
not
think it gets
concentration.
crunchy
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to get crunchy. I don't want it to be crunchy.
Also, remember this character has D4 hit points and -1 to all stats. So like if you only get 1 power, that power better be good. Otherwise it's just like you know.
Yeah, this is this would be a good way for them to hide, until they're better.
Yeah. Until they get better. Yeah.
What's your superpower? I turn into a puddle.
Yeah, but is it clear though that they don't turn into a puddle?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Because
think
you
so,
said resemble.
but
Yeah.
I would immediately lie down on the ground if I was playing that
Sure,
character. I
that's
lie
fine,
down on the ground.
but you're still body shaped, right?
Yeah. Like Sea of Thieves. Like,
do you think people are going to argue about whether the clothes count or not?
I don't think so.
I assumed it did mean your clothes, but
But
I
then
know,
it
but
is
that's-
very much Invisible Woman to say it doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I do not. Why do you think it'd be difficult to hide on land? Have you been in the dark? You can't. There's water. You know.
Yeah, I think if you know that you're looking for it, or you're on like Sentry, you might spot a weird water thing moving. But if you're just like walking down the street, the likelihood that you see a weird like translucent shimmer.
Should we just make it invisibility? Is that better?
I like it more like this.
I think it's a
gonna be
cool
honest.
flavor.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
like
think
that.
keep it-
I like that it provokes arguments at the table.
100%. If you're just
Yeah.
invisible, there's no argument, and it's situationally always great. But in this, it's like it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, like if you hold perfectly still, water is perfectly still. I want people to be
Yes.
like, I hold perfectly still.
Yes.
It's like, okay, they can't see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that there's a discussion there. That's fun. Also,
Yeah.
it's a board game too, right? Like it's not just I turn invisible, I do this action, I get advantage, and then I do this. Okay, next act. It's like describe it. What's that look like? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You described
Lars
it
is saying,
poorly.
I'm
He
not
sees
thinking
you.
in the dark. Yeah, but we're talking about Dark Caribbean here. Pirate Borg, you're going to be in the dark a lot. Like dark ships, dark castles, dark temples, dark jungles.
Yeah, I
It's
think
definitely
Jason. Yeah, and I think Jason. I think that you get the DR increases to DR 18 if you do splish 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 while you're walking. Right? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's great.
Like you're harder to see if you make noise.
Well, you're more believably water if you make water noises while you're hiding. Yeah.
I love this. Okay, let's move on to. I like this one's name a lot. Skeletons can't. This is Speak with Dead. See, like it's not an override. You stupid InDesign. Get out of here. I'm spicy today. Sorry, guys.
Can you
Skeletons
scroll up
can't.
and zoom in a little bit, Luke? Make it bigger for chat.
Skeletons can't. Once a day, ask a dead body you can see 2 yes or no questions. If taken again, you may ask an additional question. I know what you're thinking, Tyler. You're like, I'm a metagamer. I don't understand why my one ability for my shitty character is an RP ability.
Yep.
Yeah, well, this game's not made for you.
And I was sitting here like, I like it, but man, it's super strong because you see so much undead in this.
That's what I was
But-
thinking.
but,
I was thinking
yeah.
of anything. It's like this could be really adventure ruining.
I mean, yeah, you do it in Maelstrom, and like, arguably, you can find out a lot about that ship
So
right away, right?
Steve says, what if you don't ask a second question? I think anybody who has seen the post-credit scene of the D&D movie knows exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Who's your daddy and what does he do? They are yes or no questions. So, Tyler, talk me through it. You just don't like that it's not a combat ability? Is that the obvious?
No. There'll just be full sessions where it doesn't matter.
Yes.
That's
And
all.
then there'll be like game-breaking moments where
Yeah. Well, so does it have to answer?
Can
it lie?
it feels very un-Morkborg to say the GM must answer truthfully. Are other ones they have to make a test to know whether it's lying?
Yeah. That's why I
But
asked,
don't-
actually.
But it is
I
also
don't-
yes, no instead of a full answer, right? Like that's the other trick of that, right? Is yes and no are way more like when you can lie, it's easier to lie when it's you can embellish or give flowery language or whatever.
Right, and like what happens, and I know this is a GM thing, if I ask a question that the answer is like sort of or like yes and no,
Pick the best one. Pick the one you want.
I mean, see, like what I want to say if we're writing it for a different game would be like this, from the like. But this is not. This is so un-Pirate Borg.
yeah, I don't think we want this sentence.
This is
now
what
that
I
see
mean.
it.
The GM must do their best to tell the truth from the character's point of view. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
if you don't say it, if you just say once a day ask a dead body, you can see 2 yes or no questions, the implication is that they will answer truthfully.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
cool.
leaving it in.
Do
Also,
you need
great.
it? Let me ask a question. Is there a reason that you're specifying only dead bodies and not like ghosts and specters and things like that?
I think
Well, ghost inspectors aren't dead; they're undead, right? And it doesn't say you can ask undead.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an important. I think that's important. I don't think if I were a GM, I don't think I would let them. I mean, if I were GMing a game with this, I don't think I would let them use it on vampires or
Zombies.
skeletons. Yeah, they need to be
Interesting.
maybe because it's skeleton can't. Maybe an actual skeleton.
Yeah. It almost
But
feels like
a
this
skeleton,
is a
like,
Go
can
ahead.
you use it on a rank and vial?
I probably wouldn't allow it. I would say this guy's undead, not dead.
So, begs the question: should it say once a day, ask a dead body, parentheses, not an undead body?
Nope. Nope. I mean, I just want to remind everybody what game we're coming from here.
I'm
Yeah.
just asking.
yeah.
Let's
I'm
just
just-
take a little.
Yeah.
Let's just take a little walk down memory lane here, just so we can like all remember why we're all here. What brought us all to this place? Okay. This thing. This is the thing that started all this, right? Let's just go look at this like one little spell that I happen to really be fond of. Where is it? Where's the scrolls? Oh yeah, that's in a weird place, like everything in this book. Here you go.
There you go.
Here you go. Look at this right here. Man, I feel like if I were writing a character for myself, like a character class for myself, it'd be like I have the opposite of like multi-attack or like multitasking. This guy right here. Look at this.
Oh, for you personally, yeah.
Your face is in the way, but yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it's very like
Dude.
it's so simple, right? That it says all creatures within 30 feet, but every time anyone at any of my tables has ever found this spell, rolled this spell, used this spell, someone else at the table says, "By all creatures, do you mean all creatures or all enemies?" And the answer is, what does it say on the text? It says all creatures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the number one question is, does the spellcaster lose HP?
Hell yes.
I mean, at my
As
table, hell
written.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know,
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's called death as a spell. Like
Yeah.
it's the doomsday.
yeah. And the other
device.
question though is like, who gets to pick which creatures lose HP? You know, like none of that is in there, and I feel like there's a beauty in that. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
back to that. Once a day, ask a dead body you can see 2 yes or no questions. I think that's clear. I think that's
Yeah,
that's
cool.
on point.
Cool.
I'm not trying to refute the suggestions. I'm just
No, that's fine.
what's the thing that I finally found the other day with the lady talking, where she's like, "Allow me to convince you." I sent you guys the meme of it or the video
You
of
did.
it.
You did.
Do you guys
That was a
remember
long
what it
time
is?
ago. I slept since then.
It wa-
I don't remember.
you slept.
Yeah.
can't remember what it is now. It was a deeper cut than I thought it would be, but
It
whatever.
was. It
All right,
was. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Number 6. Maybe I can get this to be Alms for the Dead. You begin with 1 Charon's Opal. If taken again, you find another in your pocket.
Ooh. That's super rad. This is definitely a class that feels like secretly it's going to be this class that survives the longest.
Yeah, like they already died once.
They already died once, and then they have two of their 6 abilities are about making sure that they don't die again, which is not a bad thing. It's just interesting. Yeah.
I'm just personally not a fan of abilities that get used up and you never get to use it again.
I mean, there's no question that I think, in my mind, Netherworld Reject is a better ability than this.
Yeah. Yeah. It just means that, like, if you play 5 sessions and on your first session, then if you would have, like, hypothetically, you would be dead, it probably saves your life. So then you're not dead. But like after my Charon's Opal's dead or been used, and if I haven't leveled up, the next time I'm kind of like, well, if I die and I get a new ability, like I could actually be better off than I am now. I know this is all power gaming, but just like I'm always a fan of abilities being like active use, stuff that you get to do. It's my favorite way to play RPG games. So that's what I think about.
I think for me, it's about managing expectations. Like if I'm a wizard, like I hate an OSC when I have a crappy spell and then I fail and lose it. Like not only do I not even have my I had a crappy spell, now I can't even cast it. I agree that sucks.
Yeah.
But first off, this game is a lot different than that. And second off, the expectation is not, oh, I'm playing an unlocked soul, I should have a spell I should cast every round, Like
So, let me pitch this. This reminded me of the Black Powder Poet ability for the Swashbuckler, which says you start with explosives, roll d4 times on the bombs table. Your DR is -2 when throwing bombs. So you have like this cool thing, but then also there's this feature that kind of is that ongoing thing that Tyler's yearning for.
There's something that's a benefit beyond just...
Well, okay, before we go too deep into this, is there something else that this class should have instead?
Is it that's the 6th ability?
Yeah.
What happens to
unlike the deep one where it's going to have the level up options are different than the starting, this one will be like some of the other classes where you just re-roll on the table.
I did think about, it's in the same vein, but one of the things I was thinking about before the stream was in Lost of the Locker, your bodies start to reset back to what they were. After a few minutes, they reset back to what they were. There could be some cool ability here where, like, hey, you have regeneration of some sort or something. That still is a healing thing, but it's active.
Yeah, that's cool. You can regenerate lost limbs and have no need to eat or sleep.
Like, I'm gonna run out of room here.
Were there no time manipulation? Did they not make it in?
That's what this one is.
Just Visions of Doom.
Oh, the visions. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about doing like a redo a round of combat, but like I don't want that to happen at the table. I don't want to make combat longer. Do you have a good time travel one that works?
Generally speaking, the cleanest time abilities are re-rolls, but that's already built into this game.
Yeah, we already have Devil's Luck, and we already have that for Visions of Doom.
Yeah, then the other thing is like you can manipulate time by like increasing your speed or taking extra actions, but there are two things on the ash table, or at least one thing on the ash table that does that.
I mean, you could do a thing like take 2 actions in a row and skip your next turn.
Or something with initiative to where,
Oh, yeah, both of those are cool.
Well, the thing is, initiative is just a D6. So
is it your class or is it your game or a different Borg? I'm forgetting, but like, is it the what where you roll the D6, but then there's a class or a character that can just still go first, even if the group loses the D6 roll?
it's not in Pirate Borg, no.
That's
Okay.
in Stormlight Archives.
Okay, but fair enough. But it's also in a Borg because I remember seeing it. But
I wish
but
I had like
maybe
a cool
is
little
in
like
Vascram.
and I wish I had a cool animation graphic that would be like it would like be Brandon Sanderson showing up and like adding a line to a dry erase tick mark for every time that Tyler mentions Stormlight RPG.
Big whoopsies! Tyler mentioned Stormlight.
Yeah, it's just Brandon in the corner like, hey.
Yeah.
Well, we played in a game where he did that. That's why he's talking about
Oh, cool. Yeah,
you and
Wait,
I.
you and Zach did?
Yeah.
I didn't play in a Stormlight game with you.
I don't know what I'm talking about then. Oh, okay. Well, well, Jason did. Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah.
he's in
yeah.
the chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
okay, so-
Steve. Did Steve do as well? Because he's yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, Steve did. Yes.
So wait, I think I like the one where you're like, what if there's I was thinking, what if it's like every hour you recover D4 hit points,
Yeah, that's cool.
and then that can increase, the rank can increase as you get, like, is that going to be too OP if it's like every
No.
hour you can increase, you recover
No.
D8, D12?
Because you're still capping out. I think it's perfectly fine.
Okay, so we'll take this same thing again. Once an hour, recover D4 HP.
Yep.
And I think we call it like
Lock
frozen
something
in
about
time.
yeah. That's
What were we
cool.
gonna say?
I was gonna say something about the locker, but like locker reset, but not locker reset. But I like frozen in time.
I'm gonna also say limbs regrow, scars reheal.
That's cool.
Glory fades.
I do kind of like, now that we've got a mechanic draft, I do like to go back through and like make it more Morkborgy, like make it more like fucked up and weird,
Yeah, well, I was gonna say something flavor-wise that would be great for this class is a D4 or D6 table that's like a starting disfigurement or whatever, right? Like, I'm thinking about, I don't know if you guys just saw the new Beetlejuice.
Fuck yeah, I did. It's amazing.
But the dad who got bitten up by the shark, right?
So you're thinking of like one thing I wanted to add before we get to that. I think that's a great idea, and maybe we can like source a cool little side table, because I think one of my favorite things about Pirate Borg is the whom does thou serve table,
Yes, I love that table. Yeah, yeah.
Over here, I was thinking of doing this. PCs that return from the locker, how about like existing, this could be in a footnote at the bottom,
Yeah.
existing PCs that return from the locker, perhaps via, I'm making it wordy, we can clean it up, lost to the locker, may take this class the next time they gain experience. Decrease all your stats by 1. What do you think about that? Like providing a way for someone who's
Yeah. Especially there's no written multi-class rules or anything. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, okay.
Support.
So you're talking about those, Zach, not this. You're talking about like, I'm playing a new character
Yep.
that has returned from the locker,
Yeah.
What killed them?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
exactly.
what if the table's just okay? Now we're
How'd I
getting into
die?
more.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, I was wondering if there was any value in you being from a different era,
Hmm.
but or do we want to keep it to be pirates?
I think we
If-
want to. I don't think we need to outline that. I don't think that
Okay.
table adds enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can flavor it funky, but you're still going to roll for background and stuff. So you could find stuff in there that's interesting for you that way.
Yeah, I was actually thinking to when we got done with the Deep One stream, I was thinking that maybe it would make sense to have another. I mean, I think we're going to run out of room on that particular one, but have another table on there that replaced some of the, super piratey origins. Because like all the origins are very piratey.
Yeah.
And if you played a Deep One through the normal character creation, you'd have a tricorn and you were the member of a crew. You're very much
It's
a
funny
pirate.
that you
Deep
say
One.
that because I was watching the stream that you guys were doing and I really enjoyed it. I was really enjoying it. And then I typed in a message that's like, this class needs a second spread because of exactly what you just described.
I was kind of thinking that it's like it almost needs its own background tables.
It needs its own a lot of things because their gear would be great. You could get a lot of cool flavor at least if you had different
are you
gear.
saying are we just doing a new add-on Deep One Deep One player handbook?
Deep One player handbook? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
think
should
it's
just
fun
do
though.
a
playing
dedicated
that
player's
class.
guidebook that's just for playing as a Deep One.
The deeper dive into being a deep one.
Yeah.
The deep dive.
Yeah.
Yes.
New
But
just
I
to do
think it's, like,
Kickstarter.
A bunch of the backgrounds, like if you rolled something that's weird, that's like, okay, explain that background in your culture. I think that's cool. Like
100%.
if you get the gear, you can be like, you found it on shore. Like it's not like you bought it at your local pharmacy.
You're 100% right, Tyler. But I do think that there's new things that could be added to that would that you couldn't do with regular pirates.
I think if anything, there's a table that's just like, even if it's an extra one that you get to roll on, that's like, like who like what's your deal or something, and it's like you're hunting for the Dagon's temple or like I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. What killed you? But see, this table could be like a D100 table. It's not. Should this be its own spread?
I don't think it needs to be its own spread, but if you kept these to like 2 or 3 words each, you could get a D20 table in here really easily.
You could also just put down, decide what killed you, like it's part of the background. Like instead of, under rags and weapons section, you could also just put history : decide what killed you. It doesn't have to be a whole table.
The more I think about this, the more I'm like, not. I think it needs to be a D20 table if we do it.
What if it's less about what killed you and what if it's more about like what are you missing? Like because you have that guy that's like missing a neck or missing an arm or whatever. What if it's not about the whole story of it, but it's just you come back and you don't have a head or you don't have,
Are you about to say with Beetlejuice that it's very much like you look like the way that killed you, like everybody in that movie
100%.
does?
Yeah, that's exactly what this because the when you're down in the locker, you don't go back to being a perfect body. You go back to being whatever you look like when you died, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
I think
very
that,
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you know that Tyler is not a Beetlejuice fan? And
It's
he
not
also
my
didn't
favorite.
watch it until like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it till recently. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is
yeah.
wrong with you guys? It's like
Yeah.
I think it's like one of the movies that makes me who I am. Beetlejuice. Oh my god.
It's
Love that
great.
movie.
I like the first one. The second one's fine. It's good. It's just not.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. All right. Let's put a pin in this. I have to
Sure.
think about this a bit because
Yeah.
Also, we could sit here and come up with 20 ideas. I don't know, maybe we crowdsource them. That could be kind of cool. All right, let's crank through it real quick. Who's got ideas?
Well, I mean, you could give yourself a Beetlejuice reference and say like, Shark Attack or Shark Bite. Blah, blah,
Wasn't
blah.
it weird that that guy could talk? No, I don't know. I don't think I'm into this idea. I think there's something that's
Okay.
not landing for me.
Fair enough. All right, cool.
But what do you guys think about the overall as a class?
I could see certain players definitely taking it. Yeah. It's definitely more of a niche, but I think that's fine because it's not part of the core classes, right?
Yeah, it's also they're different off the wall powers. Each one is sort of breaks reality in different ways, unlike other ones. Like there's no roles to make these abilities happen. You just get to do them. That's really cool. But you're worse off. Also, it's a really cool story thing. Like in West Marches, they went and rescued a couple of players from the locker, and more people died. For every person they rescued, six or so died. But that person could come back, which is why I was like, this is cool. There's no problem. I have no problem with this. But the person who come back, they could be like, your next level has to be an unlocked soul level. Like that'll be a rule in West Marches for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
What's
I
up,
think
Scott?
I kind of want to make it -2 to all your stats, but
That makes the class less cool.
I think I agree in the sense that at the end of the day, you still want people to be, to feel like they can do something. And I think -1 is a pretty heavy dose for a Pirate Borg.
You're already
okay.
going to have half your stats be -1 just from natural rollings. So that means half your stats are -2 to start. So,
But this could, I mean, if you're into like building characters, this one could. No, it does not mean -1 down the line.
what? It doesn't?
It means they're -1 from the D6 roll. I guess should I say lower?
What?
What?
Wait, are you whatting me or whatting JP?
We're whatting you.
Or why didn't you?
No, you roll your stats and then you minus them all by 1. Why would you not
Yes.
roll your stats?
Yeah, no. That I agree. Okay, sorry. I thought that my read on what you just said was that you roll 3d6 and -1 off of the result of those before you go to your modifiers. And I was like,
Agreed.
no, that's not the way that Pirate Borg works. You get you figure out
Okay,
your
wait,
modifier
hold on.
and then -1
JP, I need you to clarify what you mean because I thought you meant, all your stats are just -1, which no, that is not the intent. Nor is it the intent that you roll 3d6 and -1 from the number. I don't think anybody's saying that.
Okay.
Oh,
think we wanna make-
yes. It's a modifier. All of your stats down the line get whatever you rolled -1. Whatever the modifier result is, -1.
I think we're all clear on what we mean. I want to be clear what JP is asking. Is he asking what we think, or is he saying it's -1? Your strength is -1, your dexterity is -1. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
We'll see what he says.
Is there a way to make that more clear? How does it
All
say
of your
it in
stats.
Pirate-
Well, just look at the wording and how you do the other ones.
I guess you could just write them all out.
Her
You
abilities,
just write
-1 across the
-1
board.
to each stat,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah,
the
I was
abilities
thinking
plus
Mork
2 to
Borg every
spirit.
other classes. Oh yeah,
plus
that's
2 to agility.
that's a common. I'm from the Mork Borg community and new to Pirate Borg, but in the Pirate Borg community, I think it's pretty clear that it's very clear in character creation if you read it, which a lot of people don't, that you roll and then modify it. It even says it on the character creation sheet here.
In the book, most of them say abilities +2 to name of stat, comma -2 TO.
Okay, so you're saying they should say like you are weak, or not even at weak. We just say abilities -1
to
to
each stat
all
to all stats. Yeah.
stats.
Yes, that is more clear. That's playtesting right there. I mean, we're playtesting with the crowd basically right now.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
JP
I
says
think
it's
this is
even
in a
more
good spot. I don't know about this. I want to do something cool, but one of the things I found, I feel like, I mean, obviously this is different for people like us who play a lot of Pirate Borg, but even the D20 tables, I feel like there's not enough results because after, like, yeah, you sat down at a con to play Pirate Borg your first time, you're like, I'm so good looking, people are jealous. But when you're in a 6-month West Marches campaign and they die all the time, I feel like there's almost not enough, you know,
Yeah.
because they're all coming from a D20 table.
It's actually worthwhile to be like somewhere down the road. There's like expanded background tables, expanded,
Yeah,
people
I
who
think if
play all
we
the
ever do
time.
the advanced handbook, it's
Yeah.
like all those tables are D100 instead, or
D100s, yeah.
D66.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think this is in a good spot. I don't want to start drawing it yet because I don't want to do that on stream. I like to have something going already, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the other thing I had this idea of. So the thing I've been thinking about the past 12 hours, if you will, is I need to do a map this month, and I want to do it sooner rather than later because there's so much to get done for the Kickstarter. And I was thinking, well, what's a good Halloween map? It'd be nice if you could use it in Down Among the Dead, but that's also not required. And I think it's time for a ship. So I was thinking I should just draw the ship of the dead. I just thought it's time. I've got the time. I've got a couple weeks. I want it to be good. I've thought about this map a lot. I've thought about it for a long time. I really want to make it amazing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so of course, because it's me, I'm incapable of just drawing a map and leaving it at that. So I have a couple ideas, and I want to run them by you and you guys in the community to see what we think is the best thing, and then decide when that best thing should happen. Okay. The first idea is that I could just draw the ship of the dead. I mean, like, and I have ships that kind of look like this, like the bone ship. The ghost version is pretty close to kind of what I'm thinking. I think I would like this to be much more like crazy and less real world, more crazy after castle, more crazy structures. But here's my idea. If you have the Ship of the Dead battle map, if you have the Ship of the Dead, period, wouldn't it be cool if there was an adventure for it, right? There needs to be an adventure for it.
Oh God.
So I had a couple ideas, and I wanted to see. Let's just try to figure out what the best idea is, forgetting about my time or what we've got going on, and then we'll work backwards from there.
Okay.
I think I have 2 or 3 core pitches. Okay. The number one pitch is that I make the battle map like main layer or main layers, right? So the top deck, what it looks like with the sails, the cargo hold. And then the middle layer is basically mostly just empty. And then instead of doing variations, I just draw a bunch of different things that you can just drag and drop into the ship to make your own. But then when I keep thinking about it, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I'm thinking like, oh, we could do a contest. We could have the known conspirators all could write an A5 pre-formatted, use this format room, and the 10 best ones could get picked to be illustrated, and and get printed into zine. I don't know. That's just an idea. But then I thought like I really want to do this thing justice. I really want this thing to be amazing and be the best at what it can be. And then I was thinking maybe instead I just do the exterior, the things that you really need to have a battle token for it. And then instead the adventure is not one of these ones where, hey, we're going to draw every room. Instead, it's much more like a mega dungeon, maybe like Gradient Descent, where once you go below the first layer, it's like the adventure is weird. It's not necessarily in the structure of a normal ship. There can be really big extra dimensional rooms that can connect in really weird ways. And then over the next X number of months, I could draw cool like battle maps inside the ship that were going to be cool inside, like that would be cool rooms in the adventure. What do you guys think? What's your gut reactions when I tell you Ship of the Dead? So much silence.
Yeah.
I don't really get why you would do what you just explained. I'm confused. I'm not saying there isn't a good use case. I'm just confused what the use case is.
I guess I don't. You mean everything I just said?
Well, like, what are you using what you all talked? I'm confused. Yeah.
I'm confused what you're confused about. So I need you to clarify that before I can answer.
Why make the inside of the Ship of the Dead so different over and over again?
Because it's a mega dungeon. The whole point is you go in this thing and it's like, oh my God, this is a haunted house on a ship. This is a mega dungeon on a ship. This is like level 1 is all flames, and level 2 is like a tavern, and level 3 is like an endless ocean.
Yeah, I think something a piece of that I found really exciting is it reminded me of running Moria as a mega dungeon right now, and I don't need a huge, like, forever big massive map of Moria. That doesn't really help because a lot of it is just random rooms or random tables. And so what I needed and what I built was 2 maps that are just blank stone and blank cave, and then I have a bunch of modular assets to where whatever table I roll up, whatever type of room I roll up, I can just drag and drop and be like, okay, I need, this room is this sort of weird. Okay, I'm grabbing those assets and dropping them in, and now I have it. Quick build resources to make the room look at least roughly like a lot of different things. I would love to have it. It doesn't even have to be the Ship of the Dead, but in general, I think it would be great to have big ship, bunch of modular rooms or room assets that I can drop in to build it the way I need it at any point. I do think
you're
that's
saying
cool.
on the deliverable side would be more of a kit.
I think a kit as Ship of the Dead could be really cool.
That's the part that gets me excited. That's like a more involved kit for building out whatever you want on inside, and pre-generated rooms from a kit side. That's like, oh, in this room I can make it a cabin, or I can drag, like, the props are already laid out to stuff, so you can change different things. I think is really cool.
I think the idea that we just have Maelstrom, which is already a ship dungeon, I think the absolute answer is, if you are going to do an adventure for Ship of the Dead, it has to be a mega dungeon, because you got to, you've already made the Death Star, so now you have to make, Death Star 2.
Star Killer Base.
You have to make Star Killer Base. Yeah.
Or it's really more like I made the Executor, or I made the
the
Executor,
exactly.
and now I'm making the Death Star. That's
100%. Yeah.
Tyler, why are you so resistant to a mega dungeon?
Because we're like we're in the process of releasing one right now.
Well, I'm not going to write it right now.
Yeah. I mean, no, the Ship of the Dead, like, that's a major icon for the company, for sure. Yeah, it definitely needs to be a big old adventure.
I think I like the note of you make the ship visual now, and like that's a cool release. And then the interior layers are something that get developed at in not a month, right?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what Jason's saying. It's kind of what I was thinking, is that like, I also think of like Che and Peku's, they have a wizard tower that they released like a bajillion layers for, or there's a bunch of that kind of thing where, hey, we're doing an ongoing series. And I like the idea of it being an ongoing series. Maybe just the like middle layers can be replaced with whatever you want. I think for me, it's like kind of a different approach to Pirate Borg. The thing I get hung up with is like, Pirate Borg is actually pretty logical game. The adventures are pretty logical. Like they're not very gonzo. There's not like oh, you open this door and you're in like a different place. Like that doesn't happen very much. But I kind of like the idea of there being a place like that. Like, let's say, I mean, and like, I think the question too is like, is the Ship of the Dead canon in the Dark Caribbean? And if it is its Captain Morrow, or is it somebody else? You know,
I mean, feels fitting, right?
my
Like,
idea was basically where I got to today in my last night in bed and this morning's brainstorming was that I think what I probably want it to be is that it's a lich. The captain is a lich. And it's like it's basically the Dark Caribbean version of a Serac. And then you use this ship as the big mobile floating dungeon. And it's always in the ship, but it's not bound by the dimensional like constraints of a real world ship.
I think, yeah, I definitely feel like a Serac is a good note in the sense that I think the Ship of the Dead should be themed in an appropriate way, and like a Lich or something like that is great. I wouldn't go the full Funhouse dungeon vibe of like anything is possible in here. It can be really zany or whatever. I like the idea that like the assets that are created for it and the stories that you're likely to tell in it are something that would make sense for a Ship of the Dead with a Lich captain. Not you walk in and there's a Fey Forest or whatever.
No Fey Forest, but I did have jungle trees as one of my notes. I think part of it too is that I have done a lot of this kind of thing. You know, we did Secret of the Porvenir and we did the Ship of the Damned, and now that's Into the Maelstrom, and then there's the ship that's in Deathlight Cove. That's basically your classic ghost ship with like eyeballs hanging everywhere. So I don't want to just keep repeating myself, although I do realize that 3 of the things I just mentioned were for 5th edition. So,
and I think the other thing is, I think you would feel like repeating yourself a little bit, especially with Maelstrom being like right on that's the newest thing. It does feel like repeating if you don't go bigger with it, if you don't blow it up a bit, because we've already had 5-layer dungeons and ships that you're exploring and whatever. Like I think that is something that you can go grab several adventures of yours that way.
I kind of feel like it needs to be huge, or else what's the point, you know?
Yeah, it feels like it should be the focus of its own, if not book, part of one. Like it's such
I
a
was
big
thinking maybe
idea.
it would be a zine.
Yeah, it's that it could be a really cool like higher level in this vein of Maelstrom, but like a higher level dungeon crawly zine.
Or
I could see it.
Maybe not. I think like one of those OSE books is what I was thinking. You know, like a hardcover.
Yeah, 48 to 96 page, something like in that vein.
But I mean, like if you go full Mega Dungeon, I mean, look at some. I was watching a review of Barrow Maze today. I mean, that thing is like you could play that thing for 5 years and still have stuff to do. You know.
Yeah.
Or Stonehell, or even Castles in Tillin. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things too where I was like, I have never really been big into the like, hey, there's a dungeon, there's gold in their dungeon, and there's a town, and we're just gonna keep going in the dungeon until we've got all the gold.
I super don't like those adventures. I don't like dungeons kind of at all. I
super do like them, but I also agree, like for most groups, having it's a dungeon, but there's also objectives to this dungeon, like things that you want to find or things that you're trying to save or rescue or recover, like those sorts of objective based aspects. You can still seed those into a mega dungeon to where you don't have to go all 19 levels or whatever, but you can get a win out of going 2 levels deep because there is an objective that only requires you to go get your foot in the door, sort of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, we got some comments here. Lars was saying, I like the idea of it being different when you go in every time. Like it's moving around, and Marcus saying perhaps procedurally generated. Like, I think those things would serve what, like, I guess I'm just trying to conceptualize what the thing is when it's complete. And is the thing when it's complete like gradient descent super old school mega dungeon with a real map that we've thought about where things are, or is it a community project where everybody's written a room for it, or is it there's a core idea from us and then there's a kit to
Yeah.
make whatever you want procedurally.
I do like
Yeah.
I love the idea. I love the idea of if the rooms regenerate or swap around or do whatever, like that's really cool. But I only like that typically if there's a puzzle aspect to it. Like, okay, if we go like there's an adventure where if you go in through a door, all the doors locations shift one to the right, and you got to figure out how to
So
do that to like
it's
line
the
up to where.
cube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, it's just lost to the locker on a ship. You know, like you already have the things are changing and how you get from one place to another, and it's non-Euclidean spaces. Like now, it makes sense that the Ship of the Dead be somewhat like the locker area, but you just want to make sure playing the adventure feels different.
I mean, yeah, I think it'll definitely feel. First off, you won't be dead. We just did that. Even though it's called the Ship of the Dead, my idea would be you're getting on there for some particular reason.
I guess my gut says, as much as I love community created things, I think the best dungeons are ones that have a through line of theme or puzzle or something, and that's hard to do as a group. It's better if it's one person kind of sitting there and having in their mind how the puzzle should work and kind of executing it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think if you do a community project, unless you get very specific guidelines, people's rooms will be very different.
Yeah.
And I think that you can get that experience other places. Like, I don't know that's not the thing that I would want to buy. If I picked up a thing and it was like, oh, it's the Ship of the Dead, and it's like, you know, like Brian Colin has a really cool, what's the forest one? Remember that one's called? Death Crawling Forest.
Yeah.
And it's procedurally generated. And like, I think for me as a GM, I'm like, well, I could have done the procedurally, like as a paying GM. I kind of always feel like I could have done that without you. I'm paying you to give me the like crawling death. Thank you, Jason. I'm paying you to give me the curated experience, you know, though I could be swayed. So I think, so then I guess what we're saying that maybe I just do the Ship of the Dead, just draw the map and draw it in a way where I'm like, okay, I can come back to this and add levels. So do you guys think it's like, are you on board with it being extra dimensional? And if so, how extra dimensional?
I'm okay with it being a little bit extra dimensional. I don't want it to be zany extra dimensional. Like I think it's cool to be that some rooms lead to other rooms that shouldn't be there, or rooms moving. But I like the idea otherwise that the rooms make sense on a ship. And like the tough thing about a ship is like you can often go to a wall and look out a porthole and like see stuff. You know, it's not like in a dungeon that you can change any room and there's just earth around you.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. There's like a dungeon crawl in a ship is so constrained to what can fit in a ship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that one aspect that I think could work is thinking about the cathedral ships from 40K, right? Like where you can go big. You can have like you go down into a level of the ship and you come out and you see like this one has vaulted cathedral ceilings and all that. It has this sort of ambiance. That's cool. But you're not going to go down into the hold of the ship. And if you want to put a forest in there of some sort like you did in Maelstrom, you can do that too. But you're not going to go down and now be on a planet, you know, or whatever, right? Like to where you
you guys don't have to worry. If I write it, it will definitely all feel Pirate Borg, you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the space has the vague shape of a ship, right? As opposed to
but I guess you're saying we could go a step more like video game style, where it's like, okay, I didn't get the real dimensions of the biggest ship of the era. It's 2 or 3 times bigger than that.
Yeah.
And in some places, the rooms don't make any sense, right?
Yeah, I think I think the cool thing about it, though, 100%, because I think the cool thing about this, the thing that makes it unique, is that it has vaguely shaped dimensions, but the scale can be off, or the materials can be off, and things like that, to where that's how you break the brain of the party is.
Yeah, like one thing I think. Here's the other thing too: is it's like I feel because I'm a battle map maker, I'm always constrained to like what it'll be like to draw it, and I kind of feel like writing a dungeon that isn't like that. That like when I read Gradient Descent or when I read Hot Springs Island, like the way Jacob writes stuff in Dark of Hot Springs Island, I'm like, oh, this dude clearly is not a battle map maker because you can't make these battle maps; they're way too big. But then as a player, I'm like, yeah, dude, it's way cooler if the top of this pyramid is like 2 miles big, or like what? So like, I kind of feel like it'd be cool to write an adventure that way. Like if you open the door to a room and it's like an endless vast sea, but if you sailed across the sea, you would still come to the wall of the ship. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like, you can't do that on a battle map.
You can't do that on a battle map. Yeah.
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 But
Because the battle map is Euclidean space. Like it's geometric.
Inherently, yes.
Yeah.
But I think you can. But that's cool. I think that's cool. I would be okay if we decided that we were going outside the realm of that. But I think saying, yeah, but you are a battle map maker, and so we're gonna think about how crazy we can get within the space of battle map.
I like too the idea of like messing with tiles and stuff, that like you could build the ship, and for VTT this is easy, but like maybe if you were ever to print the map, you have a whole set of tiles that go over top of other rooms, and like if you made almost like a puzzle that's like, here are 4 different rooms of puzzle size A, and here are 4 different rooms of puzzle size B, and those fit, and there's like a map of like where they can go on the ship, and that could like, just doing that alone means that like every time you play it, the rooms, here's a map and the rooms are different. You can put them over top of things, and you can make them blank on the other side. So it's like a built-in, like, oh, I can cover the map this way, and then I can turn it upside down this way.
I'm going to show you guys what my notes. Where was it? Okay, yeah, here's my...
Yeah, I like those notes, Jason, by the way. I'm reading.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, how many... If this was a dungeon, you got a room... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 without getting extra dimensional. You got 12 decks.
Yeah.
And like, dude, if these are 5-foot squares, like you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it'd probably be bigger than that. I think it'd be bigger than 10 squares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were going to draw it. I mean, the thing is, I don't really want to draw it. I kind of want to just say, here's the Ship of the Dead top, and then be like, you can't map, and then I was thinking maybe doing set pieces from the inside. Like, I think every time I run into the Maelstrom, or like back when we were in Ship of the Damned or Secret of the Porvenir, the map is such an important part of playing it in a VTT, and I think it'd be cool to get away, to push VTT people to get away from having to run it that way. So like, oh, you need to battle out for this combat. Here you loaded up the like crazy blood like shrine that's built into the wall of this one room, or you've loaded up the like, weird, I don't know, insert idea. Oh, the other thing I was thinking about is this game. What's this called?
Oh yeah, you play this, right?
Yeah, it's called Shadow Gambit. Something like that. Let me look it up. Shadow Gambit.
The Cursed Crew.
The Cursed Crew, yeah.
Is this fun?
So,
Is this worth getting?
I'm not very good at it. I kind of think that you would like it. It's a stealth game. So so you like click on your dudes and they all have like special abilities. So there'll be like a guy, I don't really have a, like, imagine this is the heart of the ship that like talks to you and gives you missions. But imagine like there's a guy here and you're here. You can like whistle or cast a spell for him to lure him over here, and when he goes there, you can teleport there and kill him. And then the idea, I haven't even gotten this far in the game, but the idea would be eventually you have enough, you play with multiple crew, and you can like at any point you can click this button to save, and then this will reload your save. So yeah. XCOM on a boat, maybe? I don't know. I haven't played XCOM.
Oh yeah, I've played a lot of XCOM. Look it back up.
But like,
Anyway,
how big is
you were
this?
saying?
This is-
What about this with this video game related to Ship of the Dead? Sorry, I interrupted on the.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This is called Shadow Gambit Training. There's these like. Let's see if I can show you guys without. I think I might have to load up a video. Yeah, let me show this one. Mission 1. Okay, like, so when you go to do the training, it's like this. Like, this is inside the ship. You know? So it's like you go through a door and then you're in this like training room where it's like totally extra dimension. I mean, this is kind of like the locker where you're like floating over a sea. So like, I don't really know. I guess I just don't know what it is. I don't know like if I were making it as an adventure. I mean, we don't obviously have to decide right now. I just wanted to pick your guys' brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the easy answer though is today's answer is definitely make the Ship of the Dead outside, right? Like do the top level situation, because I think that's really cool and it's a great thing for October. 100%, and that doesn't inhibit anything that you're talking about doing later.
And just say maybe just do the top level and then maybe do like a few rooms that they can like not do a full battle map, because here that's the thing about it is like I don't know if I want to define what it is, and if I had to define what it is like a normal battle map, it would have so many rooms. It would be like you already can't fit the biggest ships I have on a battle map.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, could you just do the outside? What class of ship is it?
It would be a non-real class. It's like
bigger than anything.
Bigger than a ship of the line.
Yes,
First rate?
because the Maelstrom is a first-rate ship of the line, which is bigger than anything that actually came to the Caribbean. I think the biggest thing I could find in the time period the Dark Caribbean in is like a third rate. Yes, here's the thing that gives you the missions.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, this is super.
You could make the outside of that, and then make the couple variants that for people's different games, and not do the inside is super cool.
Or do the outside and like you say, and then do a few like asset kit, like a little asset kit, so people can like here's walls that look the right way, and here's XYZ, a handful of things that look like they would belong in the Ship of the Dead, so you can build your own rooms.
Yeah. Something to think about.
It'd be nice then if you could take, like, as an example, this is Zach trying to jury rig something, but like then if I was excited to play Ship of the Line or Ship of the Dead, bring it into my table. If you said, you can go grab the Ship of the Line ghost map and just times it by 2 for, if you want to use this and you want to crawl through it right now, you can just scale it up and use these assets to make it even more Ship of the Dead looking and play with that for a while. Like that's a really easy way to get the whole ship quickly if you want to do a dungeon dive between now and whenever Luke makes the official Ship of the Dead dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally use the ghost version of the. Did I do a ghost version of the Ship of the Line?
Couldn't tell you.
Not of the Ship of the Line, no.
How did I not do that? Maybe I just thought it was too much work.
The Ship of the Line itself came very late in the process. It was one of the last ships to be done.
That's not true at all. Ship of the Line?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. This is before your time, Zach.
Yeah.
There's no ghost ship version of the Ship of the Line.
Yeah, but like I guess I'm saying the first ship I ever did had a ghost ship. So what does it have to do with it?
Did Luke's mic get all weird for you, Zach?
Yeah, for a minute it did.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good now.
It's better now.
Yeah.
What the first ship I ever did, the first map I released had a ghost ship version, so I'm confused what that has to do with the ship that one having one or
Just
not.
forget I said anything. There's no ghost version of the first ship of the line.
Okay.
There is a ship that you've been the people were asking for a long time, and you said that ship has not been made for like a year. And I thought, what ship was that? Man of War?
The flute.
No, it was before.
People ask for the inside of the frigate, but that's the same as the Man of War.
Whatever.
I'm
This conversation,
confused.
it totally doesn't matter. Nobody on stream cares.
I don't know
about
what you're
about
asking
this.
me.
So, but no, there's no ghost version of that. There, I know because in the Foundry module, I had to make a ghost version by just like making it transparent and making it green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to think about this because it's like, I think one of my ideas was like maybe I draw the top, and then I did like a view of like this view that we're at right here, but like one level down, and then it's like a kind of a perspective view of like a mast going into darkness with like a staircase that goes around into darkness where you can see the different balconies. So you can be like, oh, like
That's
this
cool.
thing is like,
That's a cool
there's
idea.
a bunch of different, like the hub of a mega dungeon,
Yeah.
It's like yawning portal. Yeah, sort of an
The
atmosphere.
hub of the mega dungeon. I like that sound of that.
the hub of I don't know.
The hub.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's a
think about
cool visual. Like that's a very cool visual of like, stairwells wrapping around the mast, descending into darkness, multiple layers. Like that's cool. Yeah.
There are different versions. Jason's talking about the ship of the line. There are different versions of it. There's a Man of War that's like a military first rate. There's a pirate one with skulls and black stuff.
Yeah, there's just not a ghost version.
There's just not a ghost one. Yeah, that's actually interesting. Should I just use that ship except for and then redraw the top? Okay. Well,
I think it's cool if the ship of the dead is not just a normal ship layout, but drawn as a ghost ship. That like where any of the stuff is different, or the area where they do the mat, the wheel like juts out more than it should, or it has extra spaces on the side.
It should look something out of a freaking Guillermo del Toro movie or something,
Yeah, that's
it would
just
also
like.
be. I can
Yeah,
also
it's got
imagine
floating
like
bits to it.
yeah, like what would be cool to me is like I almost miss this a little bit. I love the adventure and I don't think you need it at all. But like I almost miss a layer of the ship for Maelstrom that is the rigging and how crazy that could be and navigating all of that. Definitely with the ship of the dead,
There's
it could
like
be
a lot
cool to
of
have
it,
like
yeah.
that's
net.
that's on the battle map. That's definitely on the battle map.
yeah, it's more on the battle map for sure. Yeah,
But there's
100%.
nothing. I mean, yeah. The thing is, it's like hard. Ships are kind of hard to write dungeon adventures for because they're so 3D.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you saw even with your run through, Zach, you were like, "Oh, then I went into this room and you went a deck too low."
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that happens all the time, especially without a good battle map. So
yeah. Which we
Hmm.
still need to talk about that playtest at some point. So
Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. Cool. I guess anybody got any questions in chat? We can talk about the Maelstrom. No, let's talk about that offline so we can
Yeah.
deep dive or off stream.
yeah, so we can yell at each other about it. I think is the appropriate way of saying that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the other thing too is when I think about drawing the Ship of the Dead, I also get stressed out because I drawing huge ships is like it's so much work. Although this might be different. The reason that there's so much work is because I pay so much attention to the logical nature of them. You know, like okay, if I put this, like I can't tell how many times I've had to redo. Like if I put these steps here, oh wait, then the steps are in the way of where they would walk when they're pushing the capstan to raise the anchor.
Yeah.
Or like, oh wait, the capstan is above this level, so this can't be here. Like this needs to go all the way down to the bottom. Oh, there's a mast right in the middle of this where this bed is. Like I've had that thing happen so many times. I know most people probably don't care, but I do.
Yeah.
And I think if I did a Ship of the Dead, it doesn't have to obey the logic the same way.
Yeah. If we're getting close to the end here, I think Jason actually asked a question that I think would be a good way to close out, which is he's asking what else is left to brainstorm for the Kickstarter, which I think could be translated to what are some of the ideas that you have and are planning for upcoming streams, Luke? Because this was the last announced stream.
No, there's another one.
There's
There
another
is.
one.
Okay, ignore me. There's one more. Yeah.
On Tuesday, we're doing what's it called? The seafaring
Your
D66 skills for the season seafaring.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Skills
for the season's seafarer.
Yeah. So Tuesday,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Your mic's on the fritz.
Hello.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. It's been a lovely time having you. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time, same place at noon o'clock.
Hello.
Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. You
Can
sound
you hear me
better, Luke. Yeah.
Like it. Why does that have to happen to me? Like it'd be better if it was one of you, because then.
Are you hardlined in at this point?
No, it's not that though. It's I have not had the time to do that, but it's not, I don't think that's what the problem is.
Okay.
I think it's a problem with StreamYard. Okay, so Tuesday we're doing same time 1 o'clock. We're doing the D66. These are basically like feats that you can take when you level up instead of a class ability.
Super exciting.
I'm going to brainstorm some of them. It'd be cool to get a bunch of the community involved. I'll probably shoot an email out to get as many people on that stream as we can, because it'll be the last one that we do before the Kickstarter ends.
Yeah, and the pitch is like what ability that you could take instead of, or not ability, feature that you could take instead of leveling up in your own class, would you want to take that illustrates some type of skill, right?
Yeah,
Is that a good-
like it's.
is-
My idea is that it's like the camping and class features that in Darkest Dungeon. It's like feats from D&D. It's like what's the one in is it Inferitory or Heretic? The
I don't remember.
unheroic feats.
Yes,
Unheroic
Unheroic
feats,
yeah.
all those kinds of things combined. You know, I think this will be the one where if you want to be better at doing something on the ship, like being the captain or, being a gunner, this will be the thing.
So to be very clear then, because I think it does matter with how you design things, you envision this as not being a roll table, but as a selection table.
It'll be designed just like unheroic feats. So it'll be set up as a D66 thing where, in my mind, they'll probably be separated where the first D6 sets the category and the second sets one of 6.
Yeah.
And then it'll say, just like in Pirate Borg, choose or
pick.
choose or roll.
Yeah.
Because some
Cool.
people want to roll,
100%. But I think the ability to pick allows these to kind of get into the weeds a little bit, where it's harder to do that in certain other aspects. When you have a roll table, you kind of want them to all be more accessible, more generalized, because like we did today. But like the cook one is a great example in Morkborg, right? Like not everybody cares about being a cook, but that's a really fun skill in that game. Yeah.
I think a lot of West Marchers players too will really appreciate anything related to business or quartermastering or like some of the more mundane things. Like there's a big request in the West Marches to beat rules for running businesses. Somebody opened their own tavern and it was a big hit of like, how good is the tavern doing? And it wasn't about generating lots of money as much as like, was it successful?
I don't know if there will be a tavern owner.
No, sure. I'm just saying, but right away, a player for that would take cook, right? Like a cooking skill would take that, or brewmaster. Like even if the skill is just if it has a very small mechanical effect but more RP effect, that's really awesome that it exists.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I don't want to just rip off on heroic feats. There are a lot of good ideas in there, but I would like to, have it be unique to Pirate Borg.
Sure.
But that
I
would be a
haven't
good-
read those since it came out, so
Yeah,
or since I first saw it, I mean.
yeah. I mean, he has a couple cool ones in there where they're like, he has this kind of the same mechanic ability that's applied a couple different ways. I'd have to look it up. I think maybe
Yeah.
we'll look at it on stream to come up with ideas. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was fun. I think we it helped that I kind of already had this guy written, but I think the Unlocked Soul is coming along quite well. I think that'll be a fun class. Do you guys have any closing plugs that you want to mention? Things you've been working on?
I'm working hard on my first commercial. Hey.
You're so excited.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'm definitely gonna, as I said before, I'm enjoying doing the 5e conversion stuff. So I think I'm gonna sit down and tackle the Brute because it's a pretty simple class compared to some of the other ones.
Wait, Jason, what do you mean you're still not a super fan of Unlocked?
he doesn't like the word unlocked. He was saying he likes other words instead of unlocked for the class title.
Oh, like what?
Someone said Unchained.
Yeah, it was back at the beginning here. I'll find it.
I liked Returns. Well, the problem I had was not with the soul, or not with the unlocked. It's with the word soul.
Mhm.
Unlockered.
Unshackled. Nah, I think I'm going to keep it unlocked soul for now until someone presents a better option.
Bootstraps.
How does that sound too modern? Jason. Unlocked? Or do you mean like unlocked soul sounds like they're like, oh, I've unlocked my soul. I'm so. I don't know.
I could say real quick. I am having a super good time, chat, doing the Roll20 conversions for our stuff, and
Oh, nice.
that
He's
is
doing a
going
good job.
really well. So
Yeah.
what that means is Roll20 mods are going to come out relatively quickly after PDFs come out, which is not happening quickly on the new stuff ish, right? But that's not me promising you're going to get them super soon. It's just me saying soon after the PDFs are delivered.
Yeah, nice. I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any fun Halloween plans?
I'm throwing a Halloween party.
Really?
Yep. On the 26th. We have a ton of people invited and coming. And it is the Mummy themed, as in the Brendan Fraser movie. Yeah.
Dude, should I just come home with you? Jeez.
Yeah. Carolyn is dressing as Brendan Fraser. She has like the leather straps and the white shirt and like leather cuffs.
Nice.
And I'm dressed as an Anubis warrior. I have like a cheap Amazon costume with an Anubis mask. It's super cheap. And Freya's gonna be a mummy. She has like a mummy costume. So she's
Nice.
like, "Arr."
That's awesome.
And
What's funny is when you said that, I pictured a baby in a mummy costume, and I was like, oh, Freya is like definitely not a baby.
yeah, she's almost 4. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, you can have full conversations with her now, and she remembers stuff. You're like, that's not right.
Yeah. Nice. Watch
So
out,
we're
you're
gonna
getting in
decorate
trouble.
the inside as the inside of a tomb, and then the backyard is gonna be like canvas tents and a fire pit and stuff. All
That's
stuff that we have
amazing.
in the house.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it'll be like you're outside and you're like chilling to go inside the tomb, and then when you're inside, it's like you're in the tomb, bitch.
I want to come to the mummy party.
That's
It's Ellie's favorite movie, so we're
My
like,
wife said something heartbreaking to me the other day. She was like, I don't care about mummy movies. And I was like, how dare you?
B.
How dare you? Because I was like, let's watch the old original mummy movie from like the 40s or 50s or whatever. And I own all three or four of the Brendan Fraser ones on Amazon now, just because I got tired of like trying to find them. I just bought them as a pack.
Nice.
You know? Yeah. How about you, Zach? Are you doing anything for Halloween?
So my wife and I's anniversary just happened, and so
Congratulations.
thank you. So we are going to drive drive a ridiculously long ways for this purpose, but for an extended weekend in a cabin in Georgia.
Whoa.
That's-
That is
How far
way
is that?
further than I thought you were going to say.
It's like a 13
how
13
many
hour
hours is
drive.
that?
13.
13?
hour. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
my-
Zach, that's pretty funny because this weekend is our 5-year anniversary, and we are driving 3 hours to Idlewild, and we have a cabin that we've rented.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
we're very, very similar.
That's
so
awesome.
funny because last month was my anniversary, and we drove 30 minutes to the airport. And went to Mexico.
We went to Mexico. Well, we all went to the woods.
Yeah. This
I
is
did
our
not go to the woods. There were no woods where I was. There were
Oh, okay.
beach and expensive drinks. And
5-year
expensive
anniversary is wood is the
Oh,
gift. So we were like,
yeah.
let's go to the woods.
food.
this
Yeah.
is our 12th. So,
I hit
so
my. I
we're
was
going
on
to
my
do
10th.
something a little bit
Nice.
Nice.
cool for it.
Well,
All right, everybody. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. Let's get this straight. I end the streams around.
No,
here,
I was
all
going to
right?
say it's time now to like and subscribe.
Oh
If
yeah.
there's anybody
Smash
here,
that subscribe button. Here we go.
smash
Look
that
at this.
subscribe button, which you probably already are.
Smash that subscribe button. Whoa.
But like this video, just to help that
Like this
YouTube
video.
algorithm.
It really helps a new channel like this one if you hit the like and subscribe button.
Whoa.
I am I don't know what I'm doing for actual Halloween. The weekend of Halloween is Dobapod is in town, a band I worked for 10 years. And
Dobapod.
I have a Ship of the Dead meetup, so I'm going to go run into the Maelstrom and then go see Dobapod, hang out with those guys. We're going to be at Game Hall. Please, can we do some Halloween stuff at Game Hall next week?
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I'm going up into the mountains, and I'm running I-6 Ravenloft for the Archon team. So it's going to be me
Nice.
and
Hell
all the
yeah.
Archon Games crew. And I have it prepared as a one-shot. I'm going to do the card reading, and I'm going to run it with Shadow Dark. Thanks to my boy Mike Shea, Sly Flourish, for all his tips on how to run that. I can't wait. I've been reading it every day. I've read Curse of Strahd and run that before, but it's fun to see like where it came from. It's actually remarkably the same. Like I've been using the dungeon map from Curse of Strahd, and other than a few minor additions, like adding like 40A when there's 2 places in a room, it's almost like it's 100% usable for the original module. Which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
So I'm a little bummed that I'm only running it as a one shot because you basically have to skip the town. And there's something like so cozy about Barovia that's like, it's like cozy in a, dark and spooky way. But to the chat, Tyler and I were talking last night, and I think we're going to try to play a 5th edition Curse of Strahd campaign next year. I think I'm going to bite the bullet and buy the $400 Beetle and Grimm box set.
Dude, just get whoever's in on the campaign. Just have them each chip in $20.
No, I'm just gonna write it off. Maybe we can stream it or something.
Yeah.
It's research.
I have to play that campaign. I'm not allowed to play a paladin. I always play a paladin. It's the best class ever
No,
made.
dude, you have to play like a rogue or something.
I'm probably gonna play a bard, so I can.
No, you have to play a rogue. You have to play something that. What's the class you don't want to play the most?
Oh, monk.
Why? Monks are great.
You don't get any. Yeah.
Punch.
Punch, disappear. Punch, disappear.
No,
That's
what
my
would be-
impression of a monk. It's like
what's worse
super
than-
complicated, limited resource pool. I know if Tad was here, he'd be turning over in his seat. He'd be like, "Monk's the best class
No
ever."
cool gear. They don't get like most of the cool things that you're gonna find. You are gonna be like, cool. I can't use that or shouldn't use that.
I would say a monk seems very off brand for Barovia. I mean, if you're trying to match the like Castlevania vibe,
I've also learned that I just should lean into the way that I play, and because I talk so much, I need to play a charisma-based character. If for whatever reason, warlock, sorcerer, a bard, or paladin.
I don't know, dude. I know you
all
pretty
works.
well. I feel like I want you to play against type, and see.
You
what
can
it
play
should
any.
do.
There's every single class in 5e has a charisma based build option.
That you could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do this.
Yeah,
I
you like
will say
the
I read the
sexy monk.
Soul Knife class. It actually is really cool. It's like a rogue class that they can summon knives into their hands and they
cool.
deal extra things. It just like felt really cool.
Yeah, that's a critical role class. I think.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
I think, maybe. I think it started there. Maybe.
Tristfall saying they would watch a Curse of Strahd live stream. I'm really curious because I have not run 5th edition. Actually, I don't think I've run it at all since I wrote Pirate Borg. I'm gonna think about that.
I have not played a single 5th edition game since.
Yeah, I don't remember running or playing 5th edition since I wrote Pirate Borg. So it'll be really interesting to see how I GM it now with, 4 years of OSR experience. I think it'll be a lot different.
Yeah, just
And
strip
I think
out
we'll
all
be
the
a
shit you
lot
don't
better
like.
at saying like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, sorry. Or like, hey, no, we're moving on. Narratively, no, that doesn't happen. Because I think before when, I felt intimidated by people knowing the rules more, I'd be like, welcome to my table. The only rule that matters is what I say, because I have the best interest of the story and the group in mind, not, enforcing that you've got the most out of your character sheet,
Yeah. I'm going to hate playing at your table. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it'd be cool to do a live stream, but if we're going to play it in person, I really would want the cast to be slam dunk, or else it's not going to be worth watching.
You have a whole thing though that like about you got to have the perfect cast or it's like not worth doing it. But like if I'm there and we're running, Scott, by the way, I'm moving to Colorado. Surprise, the 22 streamers here. So you get like your friends around, just get the most fun players and then stream it. That people end up liking that.
Yeah.
Or they won't, and they won't watch it, and we won't care because we're playing Curse of Strahd.
I want it to be all professional actors, voice actors.
Okay, well then we won't stream it, and then we'll actually get to play. I've been paid to act before. I'm a professional actor by definition. Then
what fool made that decision? No, just kidding.
Well, look at that. 2 hours and 1 minute. Looks like I've got to go.
Well, I don't know. Also, do we want to just play for fun? I mean, it'd be cool to stream it. I could just remove you from the thing. Let's just take Tyler off the stage, right?
The last
Boop, he's gone. What'd you say?
the last time
Oh, I'm sorry.
when my character betrayed everybody talking about Halloween and stole this necromantic knife, and I was like, well, I'm way better with this than all of you, so bye. And so now, years later, after they finished playing Curse of Strahd for 4 years, topical, they're now back and they're hunting my character. Breeze is his name. And so I'm like, I've made a level 20 wizard character, and I'm instructing Chris how to run him to be like, this is what he would do. Here's his motivations. And when I'm available, I jump in and I play him.
Tristfall asked which version. There's no question we're going to use 2024.
Oh, 100% we're using 2024.
Because we have aspirations to, this isn't a secret, that we have aspirations to convert Pirate Borg to 5th edition. And I think it only makes sense to convert that to the new version. Unless there's a mass exodus away, which I do not think there's going to be. I just think, people are moving to other games entirely. So, yeah, I haven't even read. I have my 2024 Player's Handbook is still in the plastic wrap. So, we'll see if I ever have time to crack it open. Obviously, I will if we run a campaign in it. So,
yeah, sure. But
well, cool, guys. Thanks for coming on the stream. Thanks for the 19 people who are still here listening to us say stupid things. We're going to be back on Tuesday. It's Thursday today, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
we'll
right.
be back on Tuesday at 1 o'clock for the final stream of the Kickstarter. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.